Hi everyone, it's Paul. I'm just going to document some of my bass equipment. So over the next few weeks, I'll probably do some videos of my Trace Elliot gear. But prior to that, I thought we'd take a look at some of my basses. So here you can see we've got quite a small bass guitar case, very small in fact, which contains a short scale bass of mine. So let's open the latches and take a look. Okay, and here you'll see my Hondo Alien, which is a very interesting bass, which is based on another guitar called a Kramer Duke. Obviously the Hondos were probably made in Japan or Korea, something like that, whereas the Kramers I think were made in the USA. It's quite an unusual bass in that it has an aluminium neck. So no truss-well adjustment on this. It relies purely on the stiffness of the aluminium to keep the neck straight. You can see here we've got a clamp, 2 screws holding it in place, and the ball ends of the strings on the end here. You can see a bit of pitting and wear to the aluminium on the end, but other than that, not too bad a shape. It's in a bit of a state, this bass guitar, when I got it, so I've conditioned the fretboard, polished the frets. That looks a lot better now. Brand new set of 100 gauge strings on there. And notice also that this is a 24 fret guitar. It's a 24 fret short scale. The pickup there, which is a dual J type pickup. Again, I think the Kramers had a DiMarzio in there. This will obviously be a copy, and it's got 2 positions with the switch there. You can have it single coil or in humbucking mode. You can see the Schala roller bridge copy there. Won't be an original one, not the Hondo, for sure. And then at the end here, some very unsubstantial tuning pegs. They look more like guitar tuners than bass tuners. And if we flip it over, you can see there they're just some basic tuning pegs, nothing particularly special there. Strap button on the top. As we come down, we see the control panel. Nothing too out of place there. Oh, on the bottom here, we've got a rubber grip for balancing it on your knee. It doesn't balance particularly well with the shape of the bass. I know some of the Steinbergers had a little flip out leg. This doesn't have that. Getting the bolt on neck, obviously, as it's aluminium, and a strap button there, and my serial number, which is wearing off, but feel free to take a note of it if you want. I'm not really particularly concerned about this bass. I see a nice straight neck, a little bit of marking on the end there. I could probably clean that up, I'm not sure why I haven't. On the side down the edge of the aluminium neck there was some binding, but you can see that's breaking away, certainly on that edge in particular. If we flip it over, have a look at the other side, not so bad on this side, but you can see it's still broken away in a couple of places. Something I'd potentially look at fixing up on this bass if I want to get it back to pristine condition, but it's got other issues as well with the finish, so I'm not too fussed about that. I think it's better keep it original. So there you have it. That's the first walkthrough on the Hondo Alien. I think what I'll do now is have a look on Reverb and see what information we can find there, which might help us in learning a little bit more about this particular bass and its value. Okay, so here we are. I've switched over to Reverb. I found one bass for sale on here. So this one, I think, 1,125 Australian, which seems quite a lot of money for a bass like this. But let's take a look at it and see what they've got to say. So obviously for sale by some sort of guitar dealer. Looks to be in pretty reasonable condition. Seems to be a little bit of scratching on the body at the top there. One thing I do notice is it seems to have a neck adjustment on it, which is unusual given that we have aluminium necks on them. Overall condition looks pretty good. And see there, that neck is not a bolt-on neck, so that's either a set neck or a through neck. I'd say probably a set neck, which means that neck's wooden. That's why we had the adjuster on the front. So this is not the same, although it looks physically the same as my bass guitar. This one does not have the aluminium neck. So again, that could be a good thing in that it's got a little bit more adjustment on it, but also I think they're asking a lot of money for that bass. 1,100 bucks for that, I'd say would be pretty expensive, although you don't see many about, so maybe that's right. Obviously this is a sale listing, not a sold listing, so we'll see whether he sells it or not in the coming weeks. The fretboard looks like it could do a bit of a clean. Certainly frets could do with a polish on this one. There's a few nicks and scratches, but I'd say it's comparable condition wise to mine. Basses were manufactured in the early 80s. I think it was a pretty short production run. Not that many seem to have been made. I mean, you do find people on the internet that own them, but you don't see them come for sale very often at all. Like we saw on Reverb, there was only the one for sale, and that was slightly different. Don't normally see those with the aluminium neck very frequently at all. And certainly in this colour, the metallic green with the red pinstripe, which appears to be a vinyl sticker on top of a black finished guitar. Back onto Reverb, where I found a bass in the sold listings. You can see this one is 720 bucks. But this one does look like it's got the aluminium neck. So let's have a closer look at that. Again, looks in reasonable shape from these photos. Noticed with both of these guitars, they both had the chrome knobs for volume and tone, whereas mine had the speed knob style. But yeah, look, that's definitely a bolt-on neck on that one. So I would say, yeah, this is the same model that I have. Again, the condition looks pretty good. Nothing too bad there. It's good to see a nice lot of photos on here as well. Certainly helps us with a comparison. Yeah, backside that's pretty reasonable as well. So I'd say if anything, this one is a closer comparison than the first. Still think 770 is a lot of money for one of these basses. I didn't pay anything like that, but I think as I mentioned, maybe there's a rarity factor here. Just look at that on the neck there. You can see that sort of split. That to me looks like it's an aluminium strip down that middle of that neck. So perhaps something funky has happened there. We'll have a look at mine in a second, and we'll see if there's any difference. You see the bindings missing on this one. Looks like they've cleaned it up a bit, but very similar to how mine have gone, I believe. So maybe that's a common problem. Okay, we'll take a look at the back side of my bass, just so that we can compare to the photos we were looking at just a moment ago from Reverb. No sign of a split down the back, and it does feel like a continuous piece of wood, but I'd imagine it's constructed the same. So with that, I'd like to say thanks everybody for watching. Hope you found the video informative. If you did, maybe like and subscribe to the channel. I will be putting up some more videos very shortly on some of my other bass guitars, and also my amps, which are mainly Trace Elliott gear. So if you're interested in all things bass, then please consider subscribing. Thank you very much.